All right, so we are live on this fine Sunday morning. Let's get this link. Oh, post it in our Discord channel, right? The live stream. Close out of that. And all right. So let's see. We are in game. Let's make sure that our stream is working. I think we're up and running. I think we are. Looks like we are. Morning, movie star. Nice to have you here. Gary, hello to you as well. Nice to have you here. Looks like we are up and running, which is amazing. Hopefully you guys had a great day yesterday, and hopefully the weekend continues to be good for you guys today, and hopefully we're going to get off to a good start here with this live stream. Good afternoon, Karsten. Nice to have you here. Always a pleasure. We are just starting up on the live stream today. Tell me, how are you guys liking Summerfest so far? I know some people were saying they would have liked to get more Summer Festival coins, but I'm curious, how's everyone doing so far in the event? Are they liking it okay? Are they finding that the rewards so far have been okay? I personally have been, it's on par with what I've been expecting, but I'm not sure how all you guys have been going about it so far and how you guys are feeling about it. Because I know some people are new to Summerfest, so very curious. And for those of you who aren't, I'm curious as to how it's going for you too, compared to how you remember before. So let me know. Hi, Winata. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the stream. So I'm going to use some energy real quick. I'm going to go with it needs more stuff to do. Okay. What would you recommend when you say it needs more stuff? Are you talking about the individual um, quests within the Summer Festival event? Like you want more tabs? Is that kind of what you're saying? Or what do you have in mind when you say needs more stuff to do? Could you elaborate on that a little bit just so I can kind of have more of an idea so I can, like Winterfest. Ooh, Winterfest is a big one though. Winterfest is the ultimate event in Hero Wars. Like that is like the biggest event. It would be like the World Series or like, the championship of, I would say it's like the peak of Hero Wars is Winterfest. So they can't make everything like Winterfest, but I understand what you mean by having like maybe a little bit more. I could see like maybe a few more tabs, or maybe you can earn a little bit more honey, as opposed to some of the honey numbers were kind of low from what I saw. So I could see that. But I do think it's not going to be quite as much as Winterfest, because usually Winterfest is like, again, just like the event of the year. It's even bigger than like Hero Wars birthday, which to me is crazy, but that's how they've set up the game. So yeah, we'll get two of my top 5 heroes to red +2. Gary, that is amazing. Winata also agrees that there's not much to do. Let me take a look, because I don't know. Oh, let's see. Let's take a look here. So we have hardworking beast. So this is completing events in the game. So logging in, we get 1 life of the party soul stone. So you need to keep getting soul stones. What else? Fighting arena or grand arena. Okay, we haven't been doing that at all. Surprise fan. So this is about opening Outland, right? Energy. Okay. Those ones can be hard. Spending emeralds can be difficult. So I guess your best bet is going to be the soul stones. So if you can get the soul stones, right, from your heroes here, or if you can even, let's see. The other option is to get the hero soulstone chest and then opening them during this event. So when you do that, that's 100 soulstones. So if you get, as you open them, you'll get more rewards. So that's one way of compounding rewards, if you decide to do that. I'm not saying everyone should or shouldn't, but that's one way to go about it. I've seen it work very effectively, but that's one way. A quiz or daily quests. Okay, okay. Good morning, Chris. Nice to have you here. We have a past winner on the wheel for prizes here. Very cool. Good morning. Okay, so let's take a look here. I definitely could see having more stuff going on. I could see that, but it is a 7-day event, so sometimes they feel long anyway. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I think it would have been nice to have a I mean, the one thing that I would like to have is a mini game. They've had one every single year except for this year, and I was bummed that they didn't have one because I think those are always really fun. And it keeps older players more interested in the game. So I think that would have been nice to have. That's probably my one. I would like to have that because you also get one free coin usually when you do that. So what happened is just for doing that mini game, you would get an extra Summer Festival coin, which is huge. Like that's a great reward. Feel really good about it. So I don't know. I would have liked to have that. That would have been nice. Hi Denise, nice to have you here. I like the glasses. Love the emojis. Big fan. All right, awesome. So let's go with these expeditions. We started those, right? We have this one. We can also do the 6-hour one. Let's take a look. We want to, I'm going to spend some emeralds here because I want to get this quest out of the way, which is where you just kind of raid 3 hero missions, I guess you call them, because you're trying to get hero soul stones. So we're gonna get, or yeah, 3 heroic missions. We did that. Let's see, what else can we do? EXP potion, that's a pretty easy one. We'll level up Peppy one time. Waiting till last day of event to spend any extra resources. Should be able to complete all the tasks. Very nice. Congrats on that, Gary. That is going to be a huge opportunity in terms of rewards for you on that. That is, congratulations. That should be dope. If you can, that'd be awesome. I'm hoping to get to that point. We'll see, though. That is a lot of emeralds that you need to spend, if I'm correct. Yeah, that's a lot of emeralds, but it's definitely you'd have to spend, but it'd be doable. But I could see that. I could see that, and plus they have some cool little avatars and frames. I'm a sucker for avatars and frames. Like that's kind of cool, and that also automatically gets you 3 of these summer festival coins, even though that is a lot of emeralds to spend too. But yes, that's very nice. And then energy also has a ton of little items as well, so that's cool. The only issue is like how many of these outland chests. Like that's a lot of outland chests. But granted, I haven't been doing it every day. Should probably have done it every day, but I still wouldn't be that close to the 185 that they want us to open, which is just crazy. But fair enough. But yeah, no, that should be some good rewards for you there, Gary. Assuming you are able to get and complete all those tasks. Okay, let's see. Let's collect some of these group gifts. We got that one for today. We got the 250 honey for today. We've got the 5 tine artifact spheres, which you get every single weekend day. Weekend day on the weekend. We also have this 500 honey here. Another 3 chests, 10 enchantment runes. Got some more stuff like that I just haven't claimed. Let's see, 500 energy. Let's see if someone joined our adventure yesterday, because I actually did not have a chance to follow up on that. Let's take a look at that in a second here. Who joined this? So no one's joined it yet. That's not a good sign. I guess I can just go for it and just go ahead and take out this extra one here. So I won't be able to hit the boss, but hopefully whoever joins is capable of taking out the boss in 2 hits. A lot of emeralds just on the 165 outland chest. Yes, that is so factually accurate. That is a lot. I will say it gets cheaper the more you purchase the outland chest, but in the very beginning, the first like 10 to 15 chests are kind of expensive. Yeah. So I agree with you on that. That is very true, and it is kind of not the cheapest endeavor. What team do you use on the boss in Adventure 11? I use Jew is my main attacker, but I'll use Kark as well because Kark is very strong. But usually I would say Jew or Anvari are very good against Orion. So they're very good against the boss as well. Hey, Melissa, made it to the live stream. Congrats, and thank you for joining us. How's it going? Everything's going really well. We're having some fun. I am trying to clean up some of this adventure here. We had a little falter at one of these spots. So I'm just going to try to allow my teammate, whoever the third person is that joins, have an opportunity to still get us all 4 chests by simply just taking out the boss in 2 hits. So hopefully they're able to do that. If not, then that's okay. No big deal. It happens. So Everything's going well. We are having a good Sunday morning, and yeah, it should be a fun one. So, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you're having a good day as well. All right, so we're cruising around here, and the nice thing is, I always really like the fact that I can just simply skip the battle if I know I'm going to win. So I like to do that. It does save a little bit of time. So we'll do that. We're just going to try to get to here, and then I think we'll be in a good spot. You use Jasmine, but can't get her to ultimate. Okay. When you say you can't get her to ultimate, are you saying you can't get her to ultimate star, or you can't get her to, which would technically be absolute, or you can't get her first skill to go off because she gets hit? And if that's the case, then you might want to consider like maybe an Astaroth as a tank potentially, or Aurora maybe. But I don't know who you're using to tank with right now. But yeah, those could be some potential options. But I think Ju and so Ju, where's Ju? Ju and Vari are two heroes that I like to use, and I can usually kill the Orion boss here in one hit. So that's just where I'm at. But yeah, her first kill, got it. Yeah, I think the thing with Yasmin, you just got to make sure that she's pretty strong. I would say you want her probably red plus, reddish when you're fighting this boss to have an ideal shot at her just kind of going crazy on Orion. But I could definitely see that being a factor. And it looks like we've been able to successfully do our part here. So whoever joins here, hopefully will be able to take out the boss in two. If not, then oh well. But yeah, add Isaac to your team. Isaac could be very good as well. The problem is like if you don't have Isaac already kind of set up, it can be difficult to get to that point. But yes, that is another good hero as well. I use Rufus, Kira, Nebula, Faceless, Martha with Axel. Rufus is very good, of course, because he is good against magic attackers. Um, Kira is good as long as she can survive. One of her biggest issues is the fact that she has limited health. So Nebula is great because that helps with the healing, as well as Martha and Axel as well. Faceless will just kind of double either Nebula or Kira or Martha, whoever you really need there. So that's a good choice with that specific team. So that can definitely be effective there. I think the ultimate thing though with the what do you call it? This pet adventure is just making sure that your pets are strong or your heroes are strong enough. So I think that's the biggest thing. And I think, as you were saying, yeah, artifacts help a lot too. I agree. I think the biggest thing is just continuing to improve your heroes. It's not necessarily like which heroes you use, but just improving them. I mean, granted, yes, some heroes are a little bit better. Like I would say, Anvari is a little bit better against Orion, as is like Isaac, or the other one is like Ju, for example. Ju's really good against those boss types. So those are really just a couple examples I would say that you can't be hurt with using those guys. But obviously, if you already have your invested in other heroes significantly, there's no need to like switch over. Just continue to increase those heroes' abilities, and that should take you far. That's just my honest opinion on that. So, all right, we upgraded our Jorgen a little bit here. We can get one more hero artifact to absolute. So let's see. Our main team is Kark, Astaroth, Sebastian, Faceless, Isaac, Martha, Nebula. Occasionally I will use Jorgen though. So I guess I should get Jorgen to absolute as well. Let's see. Do we want the strength or do we want the armor and magic defense? Kind of thinking I want the strength evolved first. So we'll do that. And then we have one more to go. And then our first main team will be done. With the exception of maybe some skins. I think Sebastian has a skin. And then I need to finish off the red +2 itemage. But other than that, I think our main team has all absolute items now. So that's kind of cool. Let's make sure we can do that for other guys. Let's see. Anvari here. Okay. So I think my next team will probably be a twins-based team for Grand Arena. But like you can see, like here's like a decent line. I don't have Isaac in here yet. Probably should update my teams here, but it's just Grand Arena, not a big deal. We will get him in there eventually. Hey, Johnny. Yeah, you're here for any free help. Feel free to ask questions if you have them, and I can try to answer whatever you got. We can definitely try to help with whatever you need. Most times I can one-shot Orion. Awesome. Same. Just can't get Yasmin to fire off her ultimate skill. Okay, let me check what Yasmin's ultimate skill is again, because I don't, maybe there's a reason that it's not working. Or maybe it is working, you're just not seeing it right. Let's see, Dance of Death. Yasmin paralyzes the last enemy who attacked her for 3 seconds. Are you saying that Orion's not getting paralyzed? Because it's possible that with these bosses, the paralysis doesn't kick in. Because I'm pretty sure those bosses are immune to that kind of thing. It's like Kark's skill. He can hit 3 targets, but he doesn't hit Orion 3 times. He only hits him once. And Orion doesn't even get tossed up, so he doesn't get stunned either. He just keeps moving. So stun will not affect a boss like Orion here. This boss will not get affected by a stun. So even if your Yasmin's going behind and attacking Orion, that's just not going to happen because those bosses are made so that they're not they're basically immune to stuns. So just a heads up in case that's what you're wondering or that's what why you're saying it's not going off. It is going off. It's just that that Orion, those bosses are not affected by stun skills, etc. Just a heads up. I use Astaroth, Kira, Orion, Faceless, Martha with Merlin with 40-70ish can defeat Orion with 2 attacks. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, having enough attacking power is very important. Your Yasmin first artifact at 3 stars. I'm here for 5 stars. Try not to use tank. Replace it with another healer, maybe Celeste. I think it depends. I don't know if. Here's the thing: if you put too much investment in just your attacker, and you only have one attacker against a boss, if that boss takes out your attacker, your entire team's just kind of in trouble. Just throwing that out there. What are good counters for Isaac and Alvinor? Alvinor, I have a video on it. Let's see. YouTube counters. Let's see. Here you go. Here it is. Countering Alvinor. I have a lot of counters for Alvinor, I think. Let's see. It's after these 3 seconds are up. I just don't want to be wrong here because I actually did extensive research when I did this video. So here are my counters for Alvinor. Cornelius. Okay, this was a no-brainer for me. Cornelius targets any hero with the highest intelligence, and Alvinor has the highest intelligence in the game. What that means is they're always going to have the most intelligence for the most part on their respective team. So Cornelius will target that hero and just take him out. Isaac is another counter for Alvinor. Satori is kind of a counter for Alvinor. The problem is obviously if Sebastian's on the team, Satori is not a counter because Satori won't do any damage. I also say that first skill ult physical damage dealers are very good against Alvinor generally speaking because Alvinor has very low armor. And so armor is what protects you from the physical damage, but Alvinor does have pretty decent magic defense. So the physical damage is the way to go because she has like no armor. And so that's also another reason why Cornelius is so effective. Not only does Cornelius target Alvinor, and we can watch this here. We'll do a video. We'll do not a video, but we'll do a quick matchup here. We'll put 2-on-1. So we'll do Celeste with Alvinor on a team. Alvinor and Celeste. And as most of you guys know, Celeste is also very weak to Cornelius. But Cornelius is he's an old wise man and he can do some mad damage. So watch this, guys. Watch this. So we've got Cornelius here. Wait for his first skill to load up and go off. You can pretty much ignore the rest of the fight except for when Cornelius' attacks are about to go off. And when it does, very, very soon here. So here it comes. Took out Alvinor in one shot. And here we're waiting again. And took out Celeste in one shot. So there's a 2-shot knockout. So that's one of the reasons I like Cornelius against these guys, because Cornelius just targets Alvinor because of Alvinor's high intelligence, which is one of the stats that Alvinor's he has. So that makes him an easy target. Plus, the rune that is coming from Cornelius is a physically, it's a physical attack, and with Alvinor's low armor, I don't know. Do I have a screenshot of the final stats of Alvinor on here? Because I had them. I just don't know if I had them on Oh, I didn't have it on this counter vid, but I had the final stats of Alvanor up when I was doing the testing on that. So that's the so if you want to check it out, there is a video on it that goes a little bit more in depth and maybe not in depth at the same time. So you can check that out. Sometimes maybe I'll say something a little bit different, but here's if you go to playlists and hero counter videos, you can actually see a counter video on Alvanor specifically. These videos were just made on basically requests. So anytime someone has a request, I can make a video. So if you're asking about Isaac specifically, I can try to make a video on how to counter Isaac. But I will say, I think Isaac's a pretty tough counter because currently there is, I mean, your best bet is to go physical attacks because otherwise most of those magic attacks get eaten up unless you just overpower a weaker Isaac with magic attackers. But yes, throwing that out there. Let's see. So I will make a video on that in the future there, Chris, regarding specific counters for Isaac. So I'll make a video because I've actually been curious myself. Haven't had the time to experiment enough. I've only probably done like a couple thousand. I usually like to do a lot more tests. Hey Brian, nice to have you here. Johnny here says Ching Mao Kira are real good against Alvanor. I agree, and the reason again is because they are both physical attackers. Right. So if you go to like, where's Ching Mao? Where did Ching Mao go? Did I miss it? Okay, I know she's not like the weakest character I have. So where is Ching Mao? There's Ching Mao. So if you look here, you can see, right, these damages are based off of physical attack. And that tells you that they're, physical attackers. Whereas opposed to someone like Satori, you can see here it says magic attack, and so that is based off of magic attack. That's normally how you can tell. Some of them are a little different, but like again, like Cornelius, right? He's primarily a magic attacker, but his first skill does physical damage. Here you can see. So hits the enemy with the highest intelligence with a monolith, dealing damage proportional to their intelligence. Damage per 100 intelligence points of the target. 10% magic attack. I guess it doesn't say that it's physical attack, but we know it's physical attack. It's based off of Cornelius's magic attack, but the damage itself from this attack is a physical damage dealing. Like that's how it works. So yep, that's how that works. They will also work well again on Isaac. I think they will, but I don't know if they're the best counters. So I'm not going to say for sure yet because I haven't done enough testing to confirm or deny that. And so I don't want to speak out of turn before doing some more testing because I just don't feel confident in my answer that's, 900, 100% correct. I usually like to be like close to 100% correct before I make a counter video. Granted, there are things that change, but I usually like to only put in things that are 100% certain. I've seen a lot of counter videos out there that are I want to say like 50-50. Like some of them are really right and some of them really aren't. I've seen people who, you know, I've seen one video which had like 10 counters in it, but like half of them were wrong. So I don't want to be that guy where I put out information and half of it's wrong, even though it gets a lot of views. Not me, not me. So yeah, I will figure out something with Isaac. Um, so I've got counters for Astaroth on here as well. That is one that's on here. We got counters for Yasmin as well. Yeah, Gary, make sure your friends are checking out my playlist here. So this Hero Wars counter videos right here, it's a playlist. So if you go to my homepage, then you click on playlists right here, and then you'll see Hero War counter videos. And I have countering Astaroth, countering Yasmin, countering Rufus, countering Kark, maximizing Celeste. People were unsure on how to use Celeste on mobile and on Facebook, so I just made a confined effort to put it all into one video. We got countering Alvanor and we got countering Aurora. So these were all videos that have been requested to me. So I made all of them, and so they're all in here. I will add Isaac as well. And so whenever someone asks me for a counter video, I just throw them into this countering, hero counter video. So make sure you guys check this out because there is info in here. I usually think it's pretty good. Otherwise I wouldn't put it out there. I'm very conscientious of making sure that my info is as accurate as possible. Sometimes there are little changes that happen in games, so then I'll add a comment and pin it at the top. But yeah, I would say these are good. So countering Astaroth's in here, countering Yasmin's in here, Rufus, Kark, Alvinor, Aurora, and how to use Celeste, because sometimes people get confused about her two modes. She has dark mode and light mode, right? Dark mode is basically where she's nullifying out any attack, any healing done to, you know, their team. That's on the other side's team, right? And then you have the purifying effect, which is basically where you're healing your own team. So those are factors in how to maximize Celeste and use her. So yeah, there are some countering videos here in this area on my playlists, right? So you got tier lists, which are just mainly used for kind of figuring out which heroes are better to invest in, because sometimes when you start out, you just don't have an idea of who's good. So that's just the whole point there. I'm not saying that it's solid 1,000,000%, because this is very much opinion based, and it just is meant to give you like a starting point. So, oh, okay, this hero's pretty good, this hero's not good, that kind of a deal. Popular videos, those are videos with a lot of views. Mobile events, that's mainly for mobile players. Right now we have a Corvus and Morgan Soulstone event. I'm going to make a video after this stream on it. Mass openings. So I do have a few openings in there. I don't think I've updated very much recently, but you know, Storm Legacy chests, raindrops. Some of these are just from like events that we have regularly. So make sure you guys check these out. For new players on Facebook, there's some tips in there. Guild Wars, Facebook events, different ways to strengthen your heroes. Pretty much all the ways you can strengthen your heroes are in there. Winterfest for last year. And then just this is a compilation of all the videos. And then I do have a couple of adventures, because some of these adventure overviews came out before, what do you call it? Before, well, who was it? Is Calvin the Sneak, right? So he's on my server. He started helping update the Hero Wars wiki page, and so he would use a lot of what I had from my particular outlines and overviews, and then they started making their own. And so some of those I agree with, some of them I don't. So I made my own videos on them. You can look at them, you cannot. Sometimes I do make some new ones. It just depends on where we're at. And so I do have a level 131, the first one that we've done 4-star a couple times. I haven't gotten that on video yet, but I probably should. But yeah, if you ever have questions on those, I usually just make these on request now too. I don't usually make them public to everyone, but I do have a couple other ones that are not public. I guess I can add them to here, but they also have different routes, because I don't necessarily agree with all the ones that are shown on the wiki page, because it just depends. There are different reasons why I don't always agree with them, but yeah. Good morning, Kajaneer. Nice to have you here. Two of the counters to Asta and Yaz have excellent synergy. Corvus is my favorite counter to Yaz, and Morgan is a great counter to Astaroth. Yes, those are both true. Very factually accurate. I think both of those are mentioned in my video as well. Maybe not Corvus for Yaz. I'd have to double check, but I think they're in there. I'm pretty sure. But yes, the undead are very good counters for sure. Let's see. Okay. Let's do a pet summoning open one time. Sure, no problem. Yep, but Kajaneer is definitely right. Those are definitely two good options. I think Celeste is another good counter to Astaroth specifically, because then that allows to minimize Astaroth's resurrectability, which makes him basically useless. Then you have Yasmin. Just pretty much Helios is your best bet against Yasmin, but Corvus is very good as well. The biggest thing with Corvus is you got to make sure he is maintained on the field. Our guildmaster has to return to work and won't be able to run the war. I have the time, but I'm not skilled on setting up teams. Any thoughts, Gary? I can help you out with that. I can also make more videos on that, specifically on how to set up teams, as well as I would say the biggest thing is learning more about synergy and counters. Counters are very important, but also synergy. So when we're talking about synergy, the most important things to note are going to be physical attack types, and then also the artifacts. Artifacts are key when we're talking about this kind of stuff, because artifacts can make a world of difference. This first one, right? And this is what sets Aurora apart from all the other heroes currently, is this activation chance and giving all of her fellow players dodge. Like, no other hero currently does that, that I'm aware of. Well, I know there's been a couple updates, but I don't think, oh, okay. So I guess, I say that, and then I look at Dante, because I was like, Dante does also add dodge, but I will say, like, that's also why Aurora with Dante, they just give each other an insane amount of dodge. And then I would say maybe even Heidi has some dodge. Yeah, Heidi has dodge too. So, I mean, you just make a team that's dodge based, and then you have a crazy team there that doesn't get hit. They also build up a bunch of synergy because they just keep giving each other dodge. And then you pair that with the fact that you have a pet like Kane, who is really adept, really good with dodge based heroes and stats. So every time a hero dodges, Kane gains an additional dagger and can deal more damage. So Kane, right? So Night Fangs, Kane gains charges every time an ally performs a successful dodge up to 20. So yeah, those are some ways you can. That's just one example of how you can kind of keep in your mind. Okay, so that's a dodge-based team. They're really good against physical attack teams that don't necessarily have the capability of landing hits, right? So like a card team might be susceptible depending on how that team is built. Um, you could even have a Kira team who's, maybe not built the most effectively. And if they're not built effectively, then they can easily get taken down by a dodge team. So you just got to be careful. There might be a good like Twins team. That might be someone you don't want to use a dodge team against because they use a more of an area attack, which kind of limits the ability for those teams to dodge because basically you're just getting moved around by the storm with Lars. And then Krista just basically uses her crystallization effect and just damages all those heroes in one specific area. So, it just depends on your strategy and who you're facing and what exactly in terms of an enemy or foe you're up against. So definitely some things you want to consider are synergy, the different types of teams, who counters who, and I can kind of make a rough outline on that. It's not going to be super specific because it's going to depend on each specific team build. So, there's going to be a little bit of learning curve, Gary, but the more you do it, the more you're going to learn, and just let people know that you're new to it, and they'll understand because that's a tough job when you're first starting out. No one knows everything about how to basically set up wars and stuff like that at first. I can definitely try to give some counters though, or some pointers. So I can definitely try to help out with you on that, Gary. I've helped a couple of people get started. So, and here I just hit my 5th Summer Festival coin. Been waiting to do this. I want this Vanquished Absolute item. So even though it costs 5 of these summer coins, for me it's worth it because it's a headache for me to do it otherwise. Plus, this is a 26,000 emerald item. So I'm just going to go ahead and equip and finish off my Sebastian. Item-wise, we are done with Sebastian. The last thing that I have to do is this armor skin, and officially I am done with Sebastian. I was done with him before, except for the fact of these items, and they added a new skin, so now I just got to finish off this skin, and I'll be done with Sebastian. One of the best heroes currently in the game. That's just facts. I don't think anyone can dispute that. So I'm stoked about that. That is nice. I'm actually very stoked about that. Oh, that's a good feeling. That is a good feeling. And we are in the top 50 for Titan Power now. That's good. We were not earlier. So we got a fellow guildmate there at 46. I'm at 42. Very nice. Let's see. Daily quests. Mail. But I'm stoked about that. We got Sebastian now to a red +2 official. Lock that in. Let's see. We got some Titan Artifact Spheres. We'll open here. We got 16. So we will do 10. And then I'm going to do 5 individual openings here. I like to leave 1 just in case for some reason I forget to do something. Keeps me honest. Usually like to just do that on the weekend though, so maybe I'll just open all of them. Okay, we'll just open all of them. So after this, I'm thinking we'll do a spin here shortly to find out who today's lucky winner is as soon as I'm done basically trading out these items here. So let's see. Let's go to fragments. Let's see if we have any of these 3rd fragments, which we do. We'll sell those. Or then any earth items as well. But I think the merchant will clear those ones out. The merchant doesn't clear out these 3rd artifacts because they never know if they're done or not. So we will do that for them. And then let's go to the Titan Valley. Let's trade in the rest at the merchant shop. And let's go for a couple water crowns. Maybe like, 90. Okay, that's not bad. That's more than I expected. And the reason we're getting water crowns is because our Nova here is 4-star. We want to get Nova to 5-star before we move back to this what's it called? The Singer's Maelstrom, which is basically, you know, that stun skill that Nova has. Very nice little throwing discus, if we'll call it that. Very cool item. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on there. And then I'll probably, after I'm done with Nova, I'll go to Vulcan. We'll do the same thing. We'll go with the 4-star, complete, something like that, as we move through our Titans. So that is that. We're looking good there. I also do definitely want these large skinstone chests. I'm going to just go for this because I'm trying to complete my Sebastian's armor, right? That last skin there. So we're going to want these agility skin stones. Claim those. And we're looking good. All right. So with that, we are going to spin the wheel and figure out who today's lucky winner is for a live stream. Well, I guess it would be a video content creators reward. So let's pull in the thing here. I have it up. All right. So hopefully you guys can see this, and all the names are on here. I can confirm that for you. And what I will do is I will press the play button here, or the spin button here, very shortly. I'm wishing everyone good luck, and let's see what happens here with the spin. All right. So hopefully you guys are feeling lucky today. Let's see what happens. I don't know if you guys can see my screen here. Hopefully you can. It's also tough for me to angle this effectively, but let's see. So Lecoq's La Pizza has won. Let's see. We got 115472661. Let's see. Is that a viable code? Let's see. So first, let's go to reward just to see. I don't know if they are here or not, but let's take a look real quick. I want to see if the code that they gave me is a little too long. Then I'm gonna. There's a possibility that they are a web player, in which case I just write their name down and get back to them. Let's see. Let's use this for an example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers is your account ID. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have 8 numbers on this account ID, which means it could be a web number, but I'm not sure. But Lecoq's La Pizza has officially been selected for this live stream. I will reach out to them and figure out what's going on there. And then if they end up being a web player, we will have a second winner for next week. So I will confirm that with them, and we will go from there. So congratulations to La Pizza, and we will continue on with this live stream. So congratulations. All right, so let's see. We are also moving along in these daily quests. Level up a Titan artifact. Let's go ahead and just upgrade Mary's last one time. And with that, we need to do this as well. Obviously, we need to claim our Valkyrie's favor. That is important because I have that on this account. Let's see. We got that going. Let's see. Emerald Exchange. We want to do that, of course. And I think we're pretty good for what I need to do on this account. So I will probably hop over onto Web for a short time here. Let's go to Web. That's my brand new account that we just started 2 weeks ago. A week ago. We just started this account. I think it was a week ago. We still have a bunch of energy. I can never seem to use it all because, quite frankly, it's hard to move quickly when you don't have the raid option. But it happens. So there we are with that. And here I'm working on Aurora and Maya so far, and I will probably be adding Dante. I'm thinking about making a dodge team, actually. Actually, after talking about Heidi as well. So I might add Heidi to my squad. I'm thinking maybe Heidi with Dante, and we'll see who else I get added on there, but Aurora as well. I'm thinking Kane will probably be the main pet. Just thinking out loud. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Yes, congrats to the winner, like Melissa said. Always a good sport. Appreciate that. And so, congrats. And I will be messaging them in the Discord channel because I know they're in there, because that's how you have to enter for these Sunday rewards. I will reach out to them and see what's up, and we will figure things out from there. Is web the same as Facebook? Great question. So a lot of the aspects are actually identical. The only differences are two things. So one is when we're talking about rewards, for sending rewards specifically, you have to be on the same platform. So that's also why I'm playing web and started a brand new web account. Well, two reasons. One is I was pretty I hadn't played web in a long time, so I decided to start a new web account. And so that is why, and part of the reason I'm doing that is because I want to get rewards on web so I can send web rewards to other people. So that is why I'm doing web. And Facebook, the issue with that is Facebook is only compatible with sending rewards to other Facebook players. And because of that, there's no like cross, like you can't be on Facebook and send a reward to a web player. And you can't be on web and send a web reward to a Facebook player. So we have to be very careful with that, as you know, the rules state for us content creators, we can't send them across platforms. So we have to make sure that, well, that's why I'm making this account, so that I don't have to worry about that. So if someone's on web, I can get them the rewards on web as soon as I have access to them, probably, I'm hoping next month, which will be the 15th. So that's what I'm hoping for. But other than that, I would say web and Facebook are like 99% the same. There's some small differences. I think, like, for example, with friendship points, you have less friendship points available on web than you do on Facebook, because you can actually add people on Facebook and they'll count that towards your friendship coins per day, but they won't count that. But you don't have that same option, I don't believe, on web. But you do have a couple different, nicer things on web as well. But it just depends. So some things are very, very much the same, and some things are different. But 99%, Carlton, are the exact same. Good morning, Mr. Big. Nice to have you here. And I'm sure everyone else is happy to have you here as well. So we are currently on my web account. We are just kind of doing a couple of basic campaigns, just trying to get some more Aurora Soul Stones, because she's a 1-star hero currently. Yeah, so we're just going to do a little bit of fighting on web. Then I'll probably end up closing down the live stream. But if anyone has any questions about Summerfest, anything like that, feel free to ask in the chat, and I'll try my best to answer them to the best of my capabilities. I will be working on a counter video for Isaac, because people have been asking me to do that. And then someone also asked me that today, actually. I believe it was, who was it? I want to say it was Gary, but I'm not sure. I want to say it was Gary, though. I'm going to go with it was Gary, but I'm not sure if it was. Someone was asking about it. Yeah, so I'll be making a video on countering Isaac after I do some more research. I haven't had enough time to do it, but we will. There's also a counters section under my page. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. All you need to go do is, go to my YouTube channel. Oh, if I can type my own YouTube channel name correctly. And then if you go here and then you go to playlists, then you look for hero counter videos. There are some videos in there. Those are all, basically requests from you guys. And if you have questions, just go ahead and go there. And just go ahead and let me know, hey, I want a counter video on XYZ, and I will work on it, or let me know in the stream. So absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for coming in, Gary. I appreciate it. Hi, Asa Navy. Nice to have you here. Is it Ace? I meant to say Ace. Ace Navy. Hi, nice to have you here. I don't know why I read that too quickly. Ace Navy. So nice to have you here. We're just going to do a little bit on web, then I will probably call it a day on the stream. But if you have questions, let me know. Today's live stream winner was Lecoq's La Pizza. That is their tag. So that was the winner for the spin today. Yesterday was the Kira 699. haven't had a chance to hear back from them yet. Is one absolute hero better than 5 5-star heroes when opening Soulstone chest searching? That's a great question, Mr. Big. I would say it depends. So it depends on who that one absolute hero is. I think if it's your main damage dealer. So for example, I think if it's like Kark, I think it's a good choice to maybe focus on that one absolute hero. If it's Yasmin, I would say it depends on who your other heroes are. Um, who's on your team again, Mr. Big? Remind me, and then I'll let you know who I think, if any of those 5, should be a 6-star as opposed to a 5-star. And I can kind of give you more advice on that. But I do think there's pros and cons. So like I think there's nothing wrong with 5-star heroes and having them 5-star across the board. But if a hero is harder to obtain, right? Like you can't get their basic soul stones in campaign, for example, or you can't get the heroes unless it's specifically from a heroic chest. Those might be heroes to consider absoluting before you move to any singular hero that you can get either through campaign and just grinding daily, or going to the tower and going to the tower, acquiring those tower coins and trading them in at the merchant. So those are a couple of factors I like to consider before just jumping into an absolute hero. So those are a couple things that I would say to consider. I don't know who exactly you have on your team at this point that you're talking about, but those are things to consider because difficulty can definitely make a big difference in addition to just what heroes you have. Those are considerations that I always have, because if you can get like a hero like Aurora, right, without using Soulstone chests, because those are more valuable because you can pick almost any hero. Those are things to consider. So Qingmao, Galahad, Leanne, Celeste, Arachne. So of those, I would say there's no need if it's Qingmao or Galahad or Leanne. I would say maybe if it's Celeste, don't really think Arachne is worth using Soulstones on. But I realize that that's very difficult to acquire as well. Sebastian could be. I don't know if you have access to Sebastian. I know he's available in the merchant up in the Tournament of Elements, but I don't know if he's available there across on web currently either. I haven't had a chance to look yet because I'm not quite at that level. But yeah, I mean, I know on Facebook for sure you're okay with Seb. You don't need to worry about that. Nebula as well. I guess if it's Celeste, I would say consider using the chests to get Celeste to 6-star. I mean, Celeste is available in campaign. I don't know if you have that particular part of the chapter unlocked though, and Celeste is very difficult. So I would say that's probably the biggest one to consider. Other than that, there's nothing hurt on just doing whatever you like. I don't think there's any reason to push one above the others or any reason not to. It just depends on what you want to do, Mr. Big, at that point, because most of those other heroes that you're mentioning you can obtain not necessarily through Soulstones, the Soulstone chest. So I think you're in a good position. You can kind of do whatever you like, and it won't affect your spot too bad. So nothing to worry about. I think you're good. You can do what you like. There's no real reason for your specific teams to push one here to absolute and do, it's not going to be better than 5-5-star, and 5-5-star is not going to be better than one absolute. Just depends on what you want to do. Which hero is recommended to upgrade? I love Sebastian, Ace. It depends on what your team is though and who you're using. That would kind of be largely in terms of the upgrade. But I will say, generally speaking, I do have a tier list, and that's kind of why I made it, is to kind of tell people, hey, these are some heroes you probably want to focus on. And I can go to that real quick as soon as this matchup's over. And that's kind of how those are the heroes that I would kind of recommend as upgrades. So Ace, as soon as I'm done with this matchup, I will hop over to my YouTube channel and show you my tier list. So as soon as Daredevil can, well, I don't even know if we need Daredevil to attack again. We don't. Okay, so we did that. Yeah, so as Movie Star said, so Ace, if you go to my YouTube channel and you check out, so I don't know if you're on web or on mobile or on Facebook and web. If you're on Facebook and web, there's nothing to worry about. Those are pretty much the same. But I have tier lists in here. And so you can see these are older ones because these are 2020, right? So my newest one for web and Facebook, mobile, I probably will need to make an update sooner rather than later, but you can see this one right here, and I can just show you real quickly, but you can study it on your own. Just showing you real quick, these are some heroes that I think are really, really good. Pretty much anything that's B plus tier or above is potentially worth investing in. B minus and down, I think they have potential, but they're not as good as they could be. And again, it depends on your team as well, but these are just starting points. Like usually I focus a little bit more on tanks and um, offenders, like basically like damage dealers, because those guys make the ultimate impact in a war. But yeah, check this one out. Let me know your thoughts. And if you have a specific question, feel free to leave a comment under this video. Like, hey, I like these heroes. What do you think? And I can answer that separately and one-on-one. So feel free to leave a comment. Just make sure you check out this video if you are on Facebook or web. Facebook or web. And if you're on mobile, then check out this one, which I will need to update, but there are, I'd say some of it's relatively accurate. Dante has moved up significantly. This was pre-Dante rework, guys. Don't freak out if you're on mobile. Dante is much better. I will make a new tier list on that. But yes, so just check it out. It's a starting point. You can ask, then I will update things, and I need to make a new tier list for mobile because this is a little outdated now. Dante is no longer that bad. But anyway, okay, so yeah, check that out. Like Movie Star also said, always on it. Love it, Movie Star. You are always on it. We're going to go ahead and try to clear this Kira particular section 2 more times. And then I'll probably end my stream. So if anyone has any other questions, feel free to let me know. Always happy to answer them. I think for me, I'm really stoked that I was able to get that item for Sebastian. That's been a huge dub for me because I mean, that's the equivalent of 26,000 emeralds. That's pretty big. So I'm pretty happy that I was able to finish the Vanquished Absolute without having to build it myself. Terrible item. Well, great item in terms of usage, but terrible item to build, in my opinion. So happy I was able to get that. I hope you guys are all enjoying Winterfest as well. I do think it's a pretty solid event. I would have really liked to have a mini game for this year. It would have been nice. I'm going to have to talk to Daniel about that. Bro, be like, bro, you got to talk to the Hero Wars engineering team. What's going on here? We need those. Those are must-haves. But it's okay. I mean, he's pretty new too, so he's not as familiar with some of the traditions for mini games. So we'll get him on the same page, and hopefully he can talk to some people about that. Because I actually think he's really good at what he does. If we could just couple tweaks, add in a couple of things like that mini game for this year, that would have been really nice. So hopefully next year we have that, and maybe we even get one for Halloween. I always like those ones for Halloween; those are fun. So Halloween will be the next event that I think is going to be a major one. We'll see what happens here. I know July 4th is coming up. Sometimes we get a little mini event for that too, so I'm looking forward to that too. And usually they kind of just pick 3 heroes and they throw them into chests, and they really do want people to spend more emeralds on that kind of an event for July 4th, but I don't know. We'll see. It should be a fun event. It's going to be a little mini one, I think. We can actually pull up what we've seen in the past from Loadrunner. Loadrunner usually has a website on that, and so I'll pull that up in a second here. If I can. I don't know if, well, maybe I just have it in like one of my previously saved videos. Let me check that after this. So as soon as we beat this Kira level here and get rid of Kira from being annoying, there we go. We beat him. Yay. All right, so we got a Kira Soulstone there. Let's see. So I think the next event we will probably have is going to be one that is probably called Unity, but let's see. Unity event, July 2nd, right around July 4th. So let's see. And I remember last time, let's see. So this is probably an event we see coming up here very shortly. Let me go ahead and just jump into the video. So opening chests in the tower is going to be one of the potential tasks we see in this Unity event, which is a July 4th event. So we are currently in June 27th, which means next weekend will be this July 4th event, guys. So for next week, things to keep in mind, right? So this event is a 7-day event, right? The one that we have, the Summer Fest. But that means the next day, right, we're going to have this Unity event. So there's going to be a VIP section, spending energy, of course, opening chest in Outland. There's never not opening chest in Outland. So you might want to save your chest openings for Outland on this day. Even though you need them for Summerfest, I think you might be better off saving them for the Unity event, because they only ask you to open 11 and you have 3 days to do it. So if you save an extra day of opening chests in Outland, that could be beneficial. Team morale, this is opening soul stones. They only want you to open 80. So if you save one of your hero soulstone chests that has 100, you'll be able to clear this in one go. The other option is to just save coins and open, or basically redeem your coins for soulstones in the merchant. So that's another one there. We have Martial Glory, all about fighting in arena or grand arena. They're really big on fighting in arena or grand arena currently. Halls of the old ones, again, this is your tower runs. You want to save those. Then I think there's one last one, which is Triumph of Tenacity, just completing quests within the event itself. And basically what's in these is usually they pick 3 heroes and they have those soul stones in these chests. So that is something to look forward to next week. I believe we will be having this type of an event. So just a heads up, for those of you guys who have never played the Unity event before, that is a July 4th event. I fully expect it'll just be a pretty simple soulstone acquiring event. So yeah, that's something to look forward to for next week. And with that being said, unless there's any other last minute questions, thank you guys so much for watching this live stream and hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. And I will look forward to seeing you guys all in Dominion, and I will see you guys next week at the stream. So thank you guys again for everything, and I will look forward to seeing you guys next week.